And tensions continue to mount in the Caribbean Sea, with U.S. President Donald Trump warning of a potential war with Venezuela. The latest comes as Washington carried out military drills in Puerto Rico. In an interview with NBC News, U.S. President Donald Trump said that he does not rule out a war with Venezuela. Trump also said that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro knows exactly what he wants. The U.S. President added that Maduro knows better than anybody. Following this, the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that nothing is going to impede Washington from enforcing sanctions on the Caribbean. The statement came during a press conference after U.S. announced a blockade on sanctioned oil tankers going to and from Venezuela.
But there's nothing that's going to impede our ability to enforce U.S. law when it comes to sanctions. We're not concerned about that. Sanctioned boats, we have the capabilities necessary to enforce our laws. We'll have a judicial order, we'll execute on those orders, and there's nothing that will impede us from being able to do that.
Furthermore, Rubio also called Maduro's regime as illegitimate, while adding that the U.S.'s current status quo with Venezuela is intolerable. The U.S. Secretary of State also brushed aside Moscow's support for Caracas, saying that the U.S. is not concerned about an escalation against Russia with regards to its support towards Venezuela.
Regional stability and security in the national interest of the United States. The national interest of the United States, specifically when it comes to Venezuela, is as follows. We have a regime that's illegitimate, that cooperates with Iran, that cooperates with Hezbollah, that cooperates with narco-trafficking and narco-terrorist organizations, inclusive not just protecting their shipments and allowing them to operate with impunity, but also allows some of them to control territory. We're not concerned about an escalation with Russia with regards to Venezuela. We've always expected them to provide rhetorical support for the Maduro regime. I think they have their hands full in Ukraine.
Additionally, the United States has imposed sanctions on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's family members, including his wife and associates. The U.S. Treasury Department stated that it has imposed sanctions on 7 people. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent accused them of propping up Nicolas Maduro's rogue narco state. Bessent added that they would not allow Venezuela to flood the U.S. with deadly drugs. In the midst of all this, the United States continues to increase its military presence in the Caribbean. The U.S. military carried out training exercises at the Ponce and Aguadilla airports in Puerto Rico. While Venezuela continues to face sanctions and threats from the U.S., violence and chaos escalated in Colombia. At least 7 soldiers have been killed and 31 others have been injured, following a deadly attack by the ELN guerrilla group on a rural military outpost in Aguachica in the Cesar province. The Colombian military said that the militant group used guns, drones, and other explosive devices to attack the base located just hours away from the Venezuelan border.
We had already finished forming up, and suddenly we heard the explosions and everyone started running and screaming, and when we realized it, the explosives fell near us.
Officials from the hospital say 16 soldiers are still under medical treatment, with 4 under intensive care. Following the attack, Cesar's governor has said that they are feeling vulnerable. She also reached out to civilians to help in catching those responsible for the attack.
For more than 3 and 4 hours, respectively, drones have been flown over these police stations. With this, we don't want to send a message that fuels more anxiety, but we do need to say from the territory of Cesar that we feel vulnerable when it comes to being able to answer to citizens for security in our department.
As tensions continue to stifle Latin America, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro delivered a Merry Christmas message to the U.S. In his address, Maduro urged Washington to reject warmongering and regime change policies in South America and let others be happy.
The people in the United States, Merry Christmas. The people in the United States, not war, Merry Christmas. Don't worry, be happy. Be happy, be happy.